Over the past 4 years, I've coached hundreds of people starting YouTube automation. And during this time, I've noticed that everyone who fails falls in two of these specific categories. Not three, not 10, but exactly two. And the scary part is that both types work hard, upload videos, take courses and test channels and basically spend time and energy on this. And I do know this because I used to be one of them too before I figured out what is actually working. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you which two types these are, where each type makes the mistakes and where they fail, and also how to overcome this. I will also tell you how I personally escaped both of these traps, because at one point in my life I used to be part of both of these types. So the first type is what I call the over-researcher. This is the kind of person that has been about to start for 2, 3, or maybe even 6 months already. They watch every YouTube video from every different person on YouTube. They bought multiple courses and programs. They've done everything out there to learn how to do YouTube, but not the one most important thing, and that is just starting a channel and uploading videos. Or they have like 2 or 3 videos here and there, but nothing serious tested. The over-researcher is addicted to preparation, because preparation is easy. Watching YouTube videos is easy. Buying a course is pretty easy. But actually starting a channel, choosing a niche, and investing in video making, that is the hard part. Every time they are about to start and about to upload, they found that one new strategy, that one new thing, that one detail they have to fix before they actually just hit upload and go for it. They always find one more reason to make the condition perfect, but the problem is that the condition will never be perfect, and no one will ever be perfect, or video will never be perfect, so they just keep on stalling out. This is something me myself was guilty of too, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. For me, this was in my university years when I didn't start a single business yet. I just kept on reading books, I kept on watching YouTube videos, like different people, seeing which business models were out there, but I just didn't cut the rope and just decide on that one thing to follow and to take action on. If you just keep in that stage, you just keep on reading books and watching YouTube videos, and everyone always has a new way and system of doing things, so you feel like you're never ready to actually get started. It was only when I decided to cut doing that and just focus on one system and go for it that things started changing. And I see that exact pattern too with people that join my free community. Last week I had a call with Shannon, and Shannon basically came on the call, and even though the community was about YouTube automation, she was telling me that she was thinking about doing TikTok shop and maybe some Instagram, maybe some YouTube, and like combining everything and just seeing what is out there. And this is the exact same pattern here that I'm talking about. A lot of people, of course, you need to do research into seeing what is out there and what fits you. But at one point, you've done enough research and everything works as long as you make it work and you put the time and energy in it. But you have to decide on what you're going to do. And that is what I told her, and that gave her so much clarity in terms of being overwhelmed where to even start. But you just got to start somewhere that feels good to you and the model that fits to you. So if you are type 1 and this feels relatable to you, here's one thing that you can do to overcome this. Research needs to have a deadline. You need to give yourself a certain amount of time to actually research these things that you want to start, and then make the decision on what you're going to start. Whether this is the business model you're doing or the niche you're starting with YouTube automation, at one point you have to say, okay, I give myself 1 more week, I'm going to do the research, and then I need to start putting in the actions, because that is how you get results and get data to make better decisions. And it will probably not be perfect, and it will never be perfect, but you just have to start putting in the imperfect actions to see results, to get better and to learn, because there's no better way of learning than by just putting in the actions. So now that you know what the over-researcher looks like, let's get into the second type, which might surprise you, but because on the surface this one looks like they're doing everything all right and going into the right direction, but actually they're not. So the second type is the chaos uploader, and this one is more dangerous in a way because they're actually uploading content and videos. And the chaos uploader isn't someone that's lazy, but they are busy. They tested multiple channels, multiple niches, they're looking at all these different strategies and tactics, and they're testing everything at the same time. Only problem is that they're not sticking to a certain strategy. Every thumbnail looks different, every title is different, the niche is very broad, it's like all over the place. They follow whatever trend excites them for the week, or what is trending right now and what comes out from new YouTube gurus or like Instagram posts, and that is what they try for a week or a few days, and then they quit and go on to the next one. And because they're doing this and uploading videos, they are thinking that they are being productive and getting somewhere. But if you're chaotic and you have no clarity on your niche, your market, and the videos you are making, the algorithm will most likely not push you in the right direction. And that way you won't get impressions, you won't get views, and you will still feel stuck not finding that viral niche that you think you need. And this is honestly one of the most common things that I see with new students in my communities, or people that have tried YouTube automation. Whenever they share their screen on a coaching call with me, I see a channel or multiple channels that have like 2 to 5 videos uploaded every thumbnail has a different font, every thumbnail has a different color, every title is in a different format or in a different niche. And they're asking me why I'm not getting views or not making money. And when I look at the channel, I'm just thinking like, did your 5-year-old niece made this? And I'm not saying that to be rude, but sometimes you just look at these channels and you're thinking to yourself like, would you watch this yourself? Would you be like enticed to watch this channel if everything looks different all the time from this specific channel? And of course you have to start somewhere, and it's good that you're uploading videos, but please try to follow a system, reverse engineer what is working from videos that you see in your market, and try to make that branded style so that algorithm at least knows who you're targeting, who your videos is for, and give a good looking visual experience for your viewers, because yes, it does matter. And don't get me wrong, I had to start somewhere too. I used to do this too in my first few channels, and I had to learn this the hard way, but that is exactly why I'm telling it to you now. Because if I look back at my earlier channels, of course I was very embarrassed at how they looked and what they were about, but that is normal, and that is the imperfect action part that we talked about with the first type. So if you are type 2 and this resonates with you, the effort you're putting in is not the problem, but you have to stick with one strategy, find one system that you follow, one format that you follow of testing niches, and stick to it until you find something that works. Now, I'm not saying follow my YouTube channel or my community's rules, but just find someone that you resonate with and just follow the way they do things until you have a thing that is working for you. Now, if you're sitting there listening and you can see yourself in one of these two types, I know how frustrating and annoying this can feel because I've been in it myself. Now, you can test all that yourself in the coming 6 months, but what you can also do is join my free 5-day YouTube automation community by clicking the link in the description. It's a 5-day free challenge course that you can join, where I teach my system on how to overcome these two types and how to do things the right way. I also give live Q&A calls in there, so I hope to see you in there on the comment call. Now that you know the 2 failure types and also probably which one you are, let me show you this one shift that will get you out of the trap. Now the 3rd type, and this is not the failing type, but this is the winning type, is the systematic tester. These are the people who actually make money with YouTube automation, because the systematic tester is neither frozen or chaotic. They move fast but with a good structure in mind. They give themselves a short research window, they follow a clear sequence of steps on finding niches and testing channels, and they make decisions based on data that they gain and not on emotions, feelings, or trends. They don't just try to wing the niche, they find a niche, test a format, and do this for at least 15 videos. And when something doesn't work, they kill it and test a new thing, and when it works, they scale it up. They are the ones that treat YouTube automation as a real business, with a repeatable process and not just some hobby that they're trying on the side. One of my former students, Jeremy, used to be one of those chaos uploaders, and he went to doing over $7,000 a month within 3 months of following the systems that I teach. At one point he came to me that he did YouTube automation by himself for 1 full year and only made $50. He would hop from niche to niche, upload a few videos here and there, but never find that thing that worked for him. So he came to me burnt out and very ready to quit. But I said, after all this effort, you have to give it one more try, but with a proper system. And that is when he joined my program, and I taught him about the 5M system that I follow in testing niches and channels. After that, he stopped doing random things based on emotion and started following a set sequence of testing things. He found a niche, we reverse engineered competitors, and after that something magical happened for him, because within 30 days his new channel got monetized. In his 2nd month it made over $4,000, and his 3rd month it made over $6,000 or $7,000 from AdSense revenue. So if anything from this video, just keep in mind that you need to become a systematic tester. You need to do proper research that is backed by data. You need to be following one model that you know and trust and know will work if you just do it long enough and on repeat. And of course, you need a testing rhythm of actually testing niches and videos for long enough to give the algorithm a chance to push your channel and videos. Now that you know about the 3 types and the one you need to become, let me leave you with this one thing that you need to understand. It separates the people who figure this out in a few weeks compared to multiple months. So what really makes the difference is system versus effort. So the deciding factor usually isn't talent or your niche, and sometimes not even consistency, because if you are consistent but you are in the wrong niche, you have no system, and you just post like 3 videos per channel that you test with random fonts and thumbnails like I said at the start, then you will never get it, because you're just not doing something that can work in the algorithm, or you have to get very, very lucky, because effort is not a variable that you can measure. Almost everyone that I worked with in the past year did some kind of effort. They watched a lot of videos, or they took some courses, or they read a lot of books, for example, but that is not going to get you the results you need. You need a repeatable process that you can stick to. So whenever you start working, you know, okay, I have to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is what I have to do for the day, and that is when I test one channel or one niche or one video. And if you just rinse and repeat that for long enough and you do the right things, then you will start seeing results, but not from just chaotically and emotionally following one new strategy with one new niche with 2 videos posted. If you have a system like this, you stop relying on random motivation and luck. You just execute the set program and the sequence for long enough, and then you see the results rolling in. At one point around 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing very good with e-commerce dropshipping, but during COVID, everything collapsed and I was left with like $6,000-7,000 to my name on my bank account. And then I started over with YouTube automation, but I knew from what I learned from failing that first business is that I would find one course, one coach, one mentor, and one system to follow and to ask questions and to get into that sequence so that I could just rinse and repeat that until I would struck gold again. And this just increased my learning curve by so much. What it also does is it takes away all the time I would spend researching or looking into other programs, other YouTube videos, other systems, and the new and latest trends. Because very often all these trends that come and go, it's just like marketing and a new way of calling things. But the real core success rate is from doing the fundamentals right for long enough. So just remember that success is the product of daily habits and not from random luck or motivation. So I hope today's video was helpful. I hope you can see yourself in one of the 2 types and you're willing to change to the 3rd type to make this into a success. If you want to learn more about my 5M system and my sequence of testing things, join the free 5-day challenge like I asked you. The link is in the description. And if you want to learn more about this 5M system, you can click the video in screen here, because here I break down more how it actually looks.